What's your name? Eduardo. Eduardo, can you give me a hand 1 second? Thanks. We're going to take this down. So I will tell you how. Then we put it up, put it here, and then go back. We have to take it down like this. Careful there. So, take these sticks. Now, Eduardo, if you can help me moving it here to the front of it. Just here. Thanks. Window. I trap, I looking glass, sunglasses, picture, we gandula, memme, jojimbo, kunnadulle, jannomammi, copertece, bom, lan, lazy bones, kiss, baci, beso, misse, lazy, baci, know how, now, wow, lazy, wow. This tapestry was made together with Sylvia Berg for an exhibition curated by Tanya Nasinski. And all the words that you see here are possible titles that we wanted to choose for the exhibition. At the end, we didn't choose one, but we chose 8, the number 8. And in the exhibition, I did this reading of the words, so people could understand what was the link between them and how we were thinking. But in this case, I do it so you know if you want to sit down, so you know in which place you want to sit down, how it sounds like. I don't know if you have been to the noodle place down the road. It's called Bon Bol. It's really good, very impressive. Excuse me, what's your name? But can you hold this? It's very fragile, so hold it like a baby, please. Thank you. So again, if someone wants to sit down here, you have to take down off your shoes. This piece of wood comes from a broken shelf that I asked Ombrico. It arrived broken, so don't ask things Ombrico on the internet. Say hi. So when I was doing this carpet, I also people were asking me if my girlfriend Anna was helping me doing it because she does textile, and actually no, she didn't help me, but not directly because um, when I was looking at her working, even though she was not telling me how to do things, only by observing, I was catching up what was she doing, and but by that time I was talking with my friend Yuki about different ways of learning, and he told me that in Japan there is this way of learning called maneru, also manebu, I think. And this way of learning is closely related to, like etymologically, to mimicking. So you learn by mimicking what someone else is doing. So it implies a lot of observing, like devoting, observing what this person is doing, and also imitating that. And by doing this, you assimilate in your body what you're seeing, and it's interesting. So I realize it's kind of how I learn things when I collaborate people and people I feel that influence me. Like for example, when I started working with my friend David, I was out of socks in the laundry, and then I had to use one sock in one color and the other one in another.
It happened to us.
Yeah, but Anna asked me if I was dressing like David, and actually I was. This machine that you see here, it's called Lotus, which is kind of the way that Derek is sitting down here. It was designed by Raymond Lowy. He made, among other interesting stuff, the Shell logo. So, Lotus machine and Shell logo. Okay. So before we start, would like to thank the organizers of this project, Frederick and Lee and Mieke also for the gallery to making this possible. But most of all, I would like to thank Will because his name was a great inspiration to this performance, and you will see why in a bit. So one of the other things that I discovered when doing this carpet is that uh, letters can become one or the other depending on which side we look at them. Like for example, the letter the letter the letter I could be also the letter H, so I am H too. See here, I will show you another example. So that's kind of the reason why carpets are directed from the center to the borders, because you're supposed to go around them in space and always see something different, or maybe the same, but from the same perspective. It's different with tapestries. This is doing private stuff in public. So now you see IH. Uh, I will do another I so you can more. Sorry for the people who took courses. Sweet. I'm a savage. Exactly. I am H. But what's also cool is that there are some letters that no matter how from which side do you see it, it will always be the same. Like for example, the letter the letter O is like O, O is O. From each side, you can see always the same. More interesting, there are letters that become something else, no matter from which side we see it. And the letter L also becomes the number one. If you see it from the other side, that's nice because it's kind of a letter becoming numbers. New. And the letter D, that becomes a smiley. So a letter that becomes a symbol. It's very interesting things that I discovered. But what you also discovered while doing is that sewing or textile it's definitely um, something that's been sometimes regarded as like a feminine job, if some whatever that means. It's actually a really tough job because this is a household machine, but really professional machines are really loud, and then you have to stand in weird positions, and it hurts your back really bad. So you have to sometimes stretch a bit. I'm not chatting.
You're watching an aerobics video.
So you just move and stretch like this. Sometimes having a heavy weight helps. Can I borrow your? This sculpture was made by David Bernstein for the exhibition something to hold on to with together with Rosie Saigon in the Sculpture Center in New York. Let me hold this because the mother. Okay. You may be wondering why I'm not sitting in this chair now. I'm taking this very uncomfortable position. It's just that I don't like to sit on chairs because once you sit on a chair, you stop seeing it. So you either there are two moments of experiencing a chair, either watching it or sitting on it, and it's more or less how when you sit on an animal, you cannot see the totality of the animal while you're sitting on it, and the animal cannot see you. Like if you sit on a horse, then of course it's kind of confused with what you're doing. His neck is not much. We start again now. Nothing working. This I learned from a book written by Jean-François Pierson. It's my neighbor, but he doesn't know. And he wrote about the relationship between humans and chairs. And but I was also thinking like when the chair cannot see us and we cannot see the totality of the chair, it's a little bit the relationship we have with our names or with language in general. Like we carry them, but we don't see them until someone announces it. We don't know that I am Juan until someone reminds me of that, and I have to carry that load. So in a sense, we humans are chairs together. So I always ask this question like, if humans are chairs, then what are tables? And which kind of chair would you like to be? Like a designer, one of a kind chair? Or a non-functioning artist chair? Or a repo that everyone can use? Fire today. Okay. I will also like to share with you that soon is my birthday, Tuesday. So I'll be turning 32. That means that you can say that I'm very into the 30s recently. Like, yeah, now I'm really into the 30s because a lot of people that influence me and I like a lot had a flip in their careers in the 30s, in the 1930s. And funny enough, most of them are called William or have William in their names. That's how Will, that's a great, he made me realize this. Like, for example, there's a great curator in Colombia that curated my first exhibition. His name is William Contreras, and it was his first exhibition too. And but also the guy that weaves with Anna, his name is William Contreras. Contreras. And this also made me think about really interesting architect called Paul Revere Williams. And Paul Revere Williams had an amazing talent of doing any kind of style of house that you like. He was mainly responsible of the eclectic look of Los Angeles, where he was born and raised. And for example, he could make from a modernist house to a Spanish colonial house to a Gothic German house to a French Provence house, any kind. What was more important than stylistic choices for him, it was that the spaces were nice to inhabit and were comfortable for the people that were living in. And among other places, he designed the Hotel Nutibara in Medellin, Colombia, where country where I'm from. What's also amazing about Paul Revere Williams is that he was the first African American architect to be officially certified. And he had to develop a series of techniques to be able to work in a very racist era more than now. And for example, he was always walking with his hands on the back, so he could avoid giving the hand to people because he knew that some people would refuse to do it. And also, when he was drawing the plants, he would stand not next to the person, but in front of them, and he will draw the plants upside down. So the plants will appear, like the sketch of your house will appear in front of you. And apparently this is something that many architects can do, but in his case was a way of dealing with racism, but also a way of like impressing a lot of his clients. Yeah, so it was kind of like this, we and me. Um, he designed Hotel Motivara, and which is also amazing because they needed an Art Deco hotel in Medellin, Colombia. And this hotel is the place that's responsible for the introduction of African descendant music in the center of the country, which was very racist too. And they did this by a clever combination between African rhythms and big band. Thanks to people also like Lucho Bermudez. Yeah. Also, this made me think of a great poet that it's really great influence to me and to a friend. His name is Andres Baron, and the poet is William Carlos Williams. And I asked Andres, he's a photographer, and I asked him to send me a picture of his favorite poem, and he sent me this, so I will read it to you. Errata, page 1. For repellent, read repellent. Page 2. For rhythm, read rhythm. For apostrophe, read apostrophe. Page 8. For unlaid, read unlaid. Page 9. For precede, read preceded. Page 10. For appearance, read appearance. Page 11. For freeze, read freeze. For occurred, read occurred. For great, read great. Page 30. For them, read them. Page 14. For seen with, read seen with. Page 20. For existence, read existence. Page 21. For occurred, read occurred. For yet, read yet. For anonymously, read anonymously. Page 22. For negligible, read negligible. For opposite, read opposite. Page 23. For black's wind, read black winds. For lilies, read lilies. Hello. For his, read is. For azalea, read azalea. Page 25. For deep tongue, read deep tongue. For auxiliary, read auxiliary. Page 26. For in vacuo, read in vacuo. Page 29. For Shakespeare's, read Shakespeare's. Page 32. For spaces, read space. Page 33. For anemones, read anemones. Page 39. For appendicitis, read appendicitis. Page 40. For white, blue, read white, blue. Page 42. For make, read makes. Page 43. For reader, read writer. Okay. Just finish this. This is how you solve graphic design problems. Also, I was very thankful for Will for his name because when you read William, always in William, there is the last part that says I am, and I found it the most generous name ever because every time you say William, you're saying that you are William, I am, but you also that you will become William. So all that you are and will become William. That's very special for a name. I think. Some time ago, I saw a really good performance from Will Holder in a place called Al Masarif. They have a cool show now that I haven't seen, but I heard it's cool. And Will Holder was writing on a wall. He's a typographer, and he was writing on the wall the name of Alison Knowles. And at the same time, he was talking about how Alison Knowles was very inspired by William Carlos Williams, but also how she had to take really big distance from him because the experience, she was very inspired by his vision of the world, but at the same time, she thought that the experience of William of the world was that of a man, and she felt that her experience was radically distant. So I feel I agree by this way of looking at influences that I feel it's a matter of devotion and being close to what someone's do, but also being very distant from it. Uh, so yeah, you're William, but you're not William. I want to also tell you that this frame was given to me by Eric van Lieshout after working for his exhibition in Wales. And when I got it, I found trapped between two different feelings. The first one was about this is also how I see his work. I thought it was very generous, human, kind, and beautiful that he gave this to me. And at the same time, I thought it was terribly violent that he gave me something that already belonged to me. It was like as if he has stole something from me and give it to me just to show that he could. So this is also how I felt about this. Thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you. Yeah. Will Holder was here listening. Yeah, he didn't know.